Jason Burns, 4050 Northeast 12th Terrace in Oakland Park. On June 28, 1969, a group of men and women finally said enough is enough, and they stood up to their oppressors. In this case, the oppressor was the New York City Police Department. This day, forever remembered as Stonewall Day, marked the beginning of LGBT community push for equality. Over the years, we have celebrated many small victories, such as last month's legalization of same-sex marriage in the state of New York. However, along the way, we have lost several members of our community to senseless acts of violence. These acts were perpetrated by people whose intolerance was merely masked by their own ignorance. These victims include people such as Matthew Shepard or Michael Sandy from New York, a man who was ambushed by a gang of 4. The list of victims doesn't end here. It goes on and on. But the push for equality also goes beyond the right for same-gendered loving people to marry, or hate crimes enhancers for criminal acts directed towards the LGBT community. In 2008, in Miami, a Washington couple was shocked when after one of the ladies collapsed, the other was denied visitation rights in the hospital. She was informed that she was in an anti-gay city and in an anti-gay state. The city of Oakland Park has always risen above other cities, not just in the state, but in the country. The city I call home was one of the first to offer its employees domestic partnership benefits, regardless of the increased cost to the city. You did this because it was the right thing to do. We are also home to the annual Pride Fest celebration and the HRC and Oakland Park Main Street Cinema Under the Stars event. So on June 15th, 2011, when Commissioner Adornato asked the city to approve a proclamation that would recognize the month of June as LGBT Pride and Equality Month, I was stunned by Commissioner Shank's response. Commissioner Shank, you said, and I quote, "My concern is that I read it for the first time Monday night, and I just feel like it is being put on the agenda at the last minute, which I think would be okay otherwise, but it is celebrating the Stonewall Festival this Sunday, and we also have Sunday is Father's Day, and we have never recognized or put any proclamation out there for that. So I'm just concerned that we might be disrespecting some of our fathers out there as well by putting this on last minute. Commissioner, I would like to raise the following concerns about your statement. You had 48 hours after reading the proclamation to draft an additional proclamation in the efforts to recognize fathers. If this was your concern, why didn't you do it? In your comment, you acknowledged reading the proclamation, which very clearly states that the city would recognize the entire month of June as LGBT Pride and Equality Month, not just the Sunday that the Stonewall Festival was held on. But most importantly, what about gay fathers? And what about the fathers of lesbians, gays, bisexuals, and transgendered people? Commissioner Shank, I find it deeply disturbing that you chose to demonstrate your own personal bias on the backs of fathers. I am here tonight to ask you, as one of my commissioners and as a resident, to issue a public apology for your derogatory, demeaning, and marginalizing comments. The city of Oakland Park has always prided itself on being a welcoming place to the LGBT community, and in response, the LGBT community has been good to the city. I would like to thank the 4 other commissioners for their constant support of the LGBT community. In closing, I would like to say how much I appreciate all of the work that all of you do for our city. The time away from families and the sometimes thankless job can be overwhelming. So although at times we may disagree, I would be amiss if I did not recognize all the sacrifices that you are making for our beautiful city. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Linda Jane, 5278 Northeast 6th Avenue in Oakland Park. I'm also here to speak on what Jason just spoke about. I mean, it's odd that I come here tonight to complain about a vote that actually did pass. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for the vote. Thank you for the proclamation. I think it was great. I'm usually often here to congratulate you for what you do. And I'm really disturbed to find out that there is someone amongst you, Commissioner Shank, that in 2011, this day and age, in this area, in this city, that someone can vote no on such a benign proclamation as the one that we asked for. Thank you.
Thank you. Come forward.
Ron Mills, 1514 Southwest 1st, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Commissioners, I'm here today as president of the Dolphin Democrats. The Dauphin Democrats are the oldest and largest GLBT political organization in the South. First of all, I want to say I know almost every single one of these commissioners, some just recently, and I respect every single one of you, and you do a very, very difficult job, and I do appreciate it. I don't want to repeat what some of these folks said, but I just want to remind everyone in Broward County and in Oakland Park that LGBT citizens are fathers and daughters and sons, and we do appreciate the proclamation that you did pass, but maybe you should consider next time also having a Father's Day proclamation. Thank you.
Any other speakers come forward?
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Michael Brainer. I'm a resident of Pompano Beach. However, on this item, which I'm sorry, 2920 Northeast 23rd Place, Pompano Beach. I'm standing you today before as the LGBT representative for the Broward Democratic Party. I'm also the legislative director for the Florida GLBT Democratic Caucus. I have to commend Jason Burns for a wonderful, wonderful laid out story of how supportive this commission has been over the years to address issues that greatly impact the LGBT community. You've shown great leadership. You even stood up and took a vote and supported a resolution to repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell, to send a message to the White House that that had to be done. So you really have gone beyond to make sure you stand against efforts of marginalization. But Commissioner Shank, I was ashamed to hear of what had transgressed. I serve on several boards that are public boards, whether it's the School Board Diversity Committee as an openly gay man and person living with AIDS. But I object often to process sometimes, but you still could have voted for the item and objected to process. Your vote, in fact, was a bigoted vote that was discriminatory and homophobic against the LGBT community. And the only way to prove that action or take that action back would be to ask one of your fellow commissioners who voted on the prevailing side to consider to reopen that motion so that you could vote to change your vote. That would be one act of courage to say that you were not standing against the Stonewall Street Festival Parade or LGBT Pride Month. LGBT Pride Month is a very hard time for many LGBT individuals. As a social worker, I hear the stories of individuals who have been alienated from their family. Sometimes that LGBT Pride Month provides them that only opportunity for family, maybe because their father rejected them, and they're pained that maybe they're not by their father. But, you know, we had plenty of fathers present at the festival. And LGBT Pride Month is more than just the festival. It's more than just a party in the streets. It's about teaching our history. It's about teaching about what can be done in a community. And that's what you missed out on, what the whole proclamation was about. You zeroed in, as Jason said, on one particular thing, and you missed the point. You missed the point clearly. And whether you misspoke, take the act of courage. Ask this commission to reconsider the motion and have them pose that before you and take that action today. But this commission has done a great deal over the years to be proud of. And honestly, that was a very shameful thing that I had heard that had happened. And I really ask you to take that act of courage today. Thank you, Commissioners.
Any other speakers?